How we doing, everybody? UFC Thoughts here, and today I'm going to be going over my picks and breakdown for every fight on UFC 299, O'Malley vs. Vera 2 on March 9th, 2024. Let's get right into it with the first fight of 14. We start with the women's flyweight division. That's supposed to say flyweight. That's my fault. Alright, we start with Joanne Wood versus Marina Moroz. A rematch, actually. Marina's debut in the UFC was against Joanne Wood. She won by first round submission. And I think she's going to do the same thing. I think she's going to submit Joanne Wood maybe a bit later. This fight's a little weird. Marina Moroz has a tendency to kind of get picked up on the feet. She kind of gets pieced up. Joanne Wood, of course, her main specialty is mostly striking and clinch exchanges where she's able to outwill people. Marina, most of her wins come by submission, 6 of which are by submission. 5 of Joanne Wood's losses are by submission. I think that Joanne Wood will make a mistake by going for a takedown. Marina will probably get some bullshit, fluky submission off her back, probably like an armbar, or maybe she reverses the position because she does go for a lot of armbar leg lock submissions to mostly reverse positions. So maybe she'll just get like a rear naked choke on Joanne Wood. I don't think she'll get it in the first. Joanne's old, man. She's 38. She's near the tail end of her career. I think she probably retires if she loses this fight, probably in dominant fashion. If she loses dominantly, she'll probably retire. She's coming off a win, but prior to that, she got choked out twice. I think she'll start to slow down as the fight goes on. And Marina will kind of get to her back easier and easier, get her to the ground easier and easier, even though Marina's takedown accuracy fucking stinks. And I just think that she'll choke her out. Sorry, I'm sick. So Marina Moroz, I'll go second round submission, late second round. I think it'll be a close fight, though, on the feet, for sure. We move to CJ Vergara versus Asu Almabayev. I'm going with Asu Almabayev. I think this is one of the easier fights to pick on the entire card. Listen, CJ Vergara, while he does have good takedown defense, he has a 74% takedown defense in his UFC career so far. I think that this is a pretty big step down in competition for Asu Almabayev coming off the Ode Osborne win. And hear me out. I'm not saying like that CJ Vergara is worse than Ode Osborne. What I mean is stylistically, CJ Vergara is a way easier matchup for Asu Almabayev than Ode Osborne was. And what I mean by that is Asu Almabayev, his UFC debut, he's fighting a guy with very quick twitch in Ode Osborne, longer reach, pretty quick on the feet as well. CJ Vergara, when you watch him, he's not fast. The best thing in his arsenal is probably a left hook, and Asu Almabayev is known for ducking, so he's not going to be able to land it as often. I don't think he'll be able to get takedowns easy, but I don't think they're going to come that hard for him. CJ Vergara, I just don't think he's fully put together, and a guy like Asu Almabayev, who also does have quick twitch on the feet. He likes to throw heavy overhands. He has good head kicks. CJ Vergara is kind of just slow and doesn't look like he's not fully invested, if you get what I'm saying. And I'm making this prior to weigh-ins, so I don't know if anyone's missing weight. So if someone does, then fuck it, it is what it is. I think Asu's just gonna kind of take the approach on the feet, be very methodical. If he does get it to the ground, I think he will submit CJ Vergara. But I'm leaning more towards a decision win for Asu Almabayev. CJ Vergara keeps a very low output throughout the fight. We've seen that he's gotten clipped before by weird shit, mostly head kicks. He's not going to gas out like Daniel Lacerda. Asu Almabayev, he can keep a pace. I think he'll just outpoint him. If he gets to the ground, I think he submits him. Or maybe he just beats his ass. So I'll go Asu Almabayev, unanimous decision, 30-27. CJ Vergara will break even 500. I think Asu Almabayev is a New guy to look out for at flyweight. We move to the guy everyone's looking forward to, Robelis Despaigne versus Josh Parisian. I'm going with Robelis Despaigne by first round KO. Listen, dude, Josh Parisian is one of the most unathletic white heavyweight athletes on the roster. He's got fucking 2 pairs of tits. He's got fucking underboob under his boob. How the fuck is that even possible? Look at Robelis. He is a fucking unit, dude. I thought he was going to come in, because I get that he is a big guy, but I was expecting him to come in a little sloppy, dude. Look at him. He is fucking... I get that he's 6'7". I get he has an 87-inch reach. He's so fucking big. And Josh Parisian, he can go for takedowns. I just don't think, he'll get them, if I'm being honest. I think Robelis chins this guy. Josh Parisian is 2-4 in the UFC. His 2 wins, by the way, I looked at this, and I couldn't fucking believe it. The record of the 2 guys that Josh Parisian beat in the UFC, their combined UFC record is 0-3-1. Is not 0-3-1, 0-6-1. What? Listen, I get Josh Parisian's fought better competition. I don't think that matters. Robelis Despaigne is a fucking marauder. He has that death touch. Like when Francis Ngannou was coming up the rankings where he would just touch people and they die. That's what's going to happen in this fight. I think we're going to have another Francis. I don't know if Robelis is going to get to that high level of competition. He's very raw talent-wise. He's got the bronze medal in Taekwondo. He has 4 fights in his career, and none of them have made it past 3 minutes. I think his last 3 fights combined have 30 seconds in total of time or some bullshit like that. He hits very hard. Yeah, Josh Parisian's going to go down quick. He's going to go down fast. And I think it's mostly due to that reach disadvantage. 8 inches at heavyweight? Dude, with a 79-inch reach, no one's expecting an 8-inch reach differential. That's fucking insane, dude. So yeah, Robelis Despaigne. I think Josh Parisian's going to try and come in quick, try and go for his legs. I think Robelis is just going to knock him out with some bullshit uppercut, 1-2, and we'll have a somewhat heavyweight star that we can look out for. We move to the battle of misspelled Michaels, Michel Pereira versus Mikhail Alexeychuk. I'm picking Michel Pereira. Hear me out. A lot of people imagine this fight's going to go like this. Michel Pereira is going to throw a lot of bullshit in that first round. He's going to gas out, and McCall's going to finish him in the third. Here's what I think is going to happen. Michel Pereira, a lot of these guys, they imagine him as this first round guy where he needs a finish in the first round or else he gasses and loses. Even though bro has 10 wins by decision and 4 of his 7 wins in the UFC are by decision. Here's what's going to happen. Michel Pereira, when he feels a presence of chance that he can lose on the feet, he resorts to grappling. And you know who kind of has shitty takedown defense? Mikhail Alexeychuk. Sub 50. It's 48%. Michel Pereira has a 55% takedown accuracy. When he wants, he can get takedowns on people. He took down Chaos when he felt like Chaos. There was the power discrepancy. Nico Price when he wanted to. Diego Sanchez. He took down Andre Fiallo. He takes down these guys when he feels a certain level of chance on the feet. With Mikhail Alexeychuk, there's a high chance that he can land some bullshit. I think Michel Pereira also mixes it up better. Mikhail is mostly a headshot merchant. Michel Pereira mixes it up. He's 40-40 for head and body strikes. He also throws some leg kicks. Michel Pereira, he throws punches. I've said this with so much times. He throws them and lands them in just really weird spots. In the Andre Petrovsky, he landed it right on his temple, dude. He fucking placed it so beautifully right over his guard. Mikhail Alexeychuk is not used to fighting long fights. A lot of people don't understand that. The finisher in this fight is Mikhail Alexeychuk. Most of his fights in the UFC, his average fight time's 6 minutes. Michel Pereira's average fight time is like 11 minutes. He's used to going the distance at this point. His gas tank is getting better. He's looked better and better in performances now. Andre Petroski was an early finish. I think it doesn't matter about that. Because the thing is, Andre Petroski needs wrestling. Michel Pereira has a 94% takedown defense. He's very good grappling-wise. A lot of people don't understand that. Michael Oleksiejczuk, his submission defense, I hate to say it about the young Jan Blachowicz, is kind of weak. I think 3 of his losses are by submission. I think maybe even more. Like, dude, he's not smart submissively. He got choked out with a Von Flue against Ovin St. Peru. Like, bro, he defensively on the ground is just not that smart. I think that's going to be the downfall of him. Michel Pereira, I think he'll stand with him in the first round. I think McCall might win the first round. I think McCall will land some nice crisp 1-2s. I think he'll take some good shots, but I think overall the first round will be McCall. After that round, Michel's going to wrestle him. And I think he's going to submit him in the second round via rear naked choke. I think that McCall, his lack of ground awareness, is going to pay dividends for Michel Pereira. And if I call this, by the way, everyone watching this video, you owe me blowjobs. I don't care. Michel Pereira, second round rear naked choke. I think that McCall can win. And in all honesty, he can win this fight very easily if he just defends takedowns. Because McCall, I don't think he's going to get knocked out by Michel Pereira. Michel Pereira, a lot of people imagine him as his first round guy. He's not. He only has like 2 knockouts in the UFC. And one of them was over Danny Roberts, who has the chin of a fucking wacky inflatable arm flaming 2-man. And the other was Andre Petroski, who is a wrestler. You know, shit happens. We move to Ion Cutelaba versus Felipe Lins. I'm going to go with Ion Cutelaba, but here's the thing. I'm not very happy about this fight. And here's the thing. Ion Cutelaba should win this fight. He should. Felipe Lins, his boxing defense isn't all that good. He has to rely on takedowns. If he can't get a takedown, then, well, he can obviously always knock out somebody because he does throw hard. He is a bit fast, but his gas tank isn't all that great. He's big for nothing. He's old. He's very inactive. He's very ring rusty. He doesn't fight that much. But Ion just has a tendency to get in fights like this and just lose. Here's what I'm looking out for this fight, is right overhands from both parties. Because I'll tell you what, when they both fought Tanner Boser, I understand Ion won, Felipe lost. The right overhand is wide open on both of them. Ion leans away. He doesn't guard. He doesn't keep his left hand up to guard against the right overhand. I'll tell you what Felipe Lins throws very well. Check out that Maxim Grisham fight. 10 seconds in, just hauls over a big old meaty right overhand. I don't think Ion Cutelaba is going to get Felipe down to the ground. Felipe Lins, I don't know if you guys understand this, 100% takedown defense in the UFC. And Ion Cutelaba's takedown accuracy is not that hot, I'll tell you that much. It's like 30? It's either 30 or 50. I forget. I think Felipe's is 36. I think Ion's like 40. Right? This fight's going to be a one-round fight. If it goes past that, anything can happen at that point. This fight, like a lot of others, is whoever lands hard first. That's it. There's going to be like not really technical ability in this fight. Felipe might lean on his power in the clinch early, try and waste time, bring him down to his level of cardio. I just think that Felipe struggles with quicker guys like Tanner Boser in that fight. I mean, the last couple fights he's had are against old men. That's it, other than Marcin Prachnio, which, kind of just sucks. I'm sorry to say it. He kind of does. All right? He's not that good. All right? Ovin St. Peru Ancient. Fucking Who did he beat in his last fight? Maxim Grisham. I just said his name. Ancient. They're old. I think Ion Cutelaba is younger. He's quicker. And Felipe Lynch struggles with quicker draws, quick twitch. Dude, if Ion Cutelaba gets knocked out, I'm going to throw my phone at my fucking TV. We move to Pedro Munoz versus Kyler Phillips. I'm very torn on this fight, if I'm being honest. I think I'm going to go with Kyler Phillips. Mostly based on the fact that Pedro gets hit a lot. He gets hit by like every other strike somebody throws. He has like a 56% significant strike defense. He gets tagged a lot by straight shots. One of the things Kyler Phillips is really good at is throwing straight shots down the pipe. Pedro Munoz moves his head a lot, but it's all for nothing, especially against quick, lengthy strikers like a Cheeto Vera or a Sugar Sean O'Malley, right? Sugar in that fight, he didn't really throw a lot of straight punches. I think that was his problem. He was mostly throwing like leg kicks, which is something that Pedro Munoz likes to do, is throw leg kicks. My biggest problem with this pick is Kyler Phillips' gas tank. That's really where I'm kind of torn on the pick, because I feel like Kyler Phillips can set a good pace in rounds 1 and maybe most of round 2, but when it gets to that third round, Pedro likes to grapple a lot, man. Kyler is not taking Pedro Munoz down. He's just not. Now, is Pedro Munoz going to be able to control and hold down Kyler Phillips? I also don't think so. Kyler Phillips has some of the cleanest transitions and scrambles in bantamweight, if I'm being honest. He's very clean with it. This fight is just going to be on whoever wins 1 and 2, or whoever wins round 2. Because I'm going to be honest, I think Kyler is going to win round 1 pretty decisively. Round 3, I think this is going the distance. Round 3 will be Pedro Munoz. Round 2, it's up for grabs. If Kyler Phillips is able to keep the pace from round 1, he'll win. If he doesn't, Pedro Munoz will win. I think that the straight shots are going to be a problem. I think Kyler Phillips is able to eat leg kicks. Pedro, while he does make a good pace, he pressures a lot. He doesn't throw a lot of like game-ending shots or fight-ending shots. He throws a lot of leg kicks. Leg kicks are not going to take Kyler Phillips out. All right? It's just not. I'm going to go with Kyler Phillips. This is another pick where I'm kind of torn. There's a lot of fights on here that are like that. Again, straight shots down the middle, occasional grappling sequences. If Kyler can survive the third round, I think he'll take it 29-28, unanimous decision. I can understand a Pedro Munoz pick. I almost want to pick him just based on that fact, but I think his striking defense being so low will favor a guy like Kyler Phillips, who is so active in rounds 1 and 2. And I say gas out in that third round. He's not like breathing and huffing and puffing. He significantly slows down, though. So, again, straight shots down the middle. Kyler Phillips, I give him 29-28. We move to Mateusz Gamrot versus Rafael dos Anjos. I'm picking Mateusz Gamrot. I personally think this is one of the easier fights on the whole card to pick. If I'm being honest, listen, Rafael dos Anjos, he's not like... Listen, he's been filtering between weight classes like crazy. 155, 170, 155, 170, 155, 170. That's got to take a toll on your body. Filtering between those two weight classes like that, it's literally like every other fight. 155, 170, it's literally every other fight. It's insane. He's literally a 165er, but that division doesn't exist. And also, I just think that technically sound defense on the ground just isn't RDA's thing. Like, dude, he got reversed a shit ton by Vicente Luque, right? If a guy like Vicente Luque is reversing and pinning you down to the ground and beating your ass, dude, Mateusz Gamrot's going to do unholy things to you across 3 rounds. He just is. RDA doesn't have the grappling presence that a Beneil Dariush has. He doesn't have the one-punch KO power that a Beneil Dariush has, where he can floor guys with one shot, right? He just doesn't have that anymore. He doesn't. He's 39, man. I can't believe this dude is still adding names to his fucking insane resume. He has the best resume ever. No matter, like, he loses to a lot of the good guys he fights, but he has an insane resume, dude. And I think this is just going to be another good guy that he loses to. Again, I think it's just going to be due to pace and pressure, scrambles, even on the feet. I think that Mateusz is better. I think Mateusz has a lot of good skill sets on the feet. His jab is really good. He was pinging Rafael Fiziev throughout their fight pretty well. He throws a lot of good leg kicks. He can set them up better. That's what got him caught in that Beneil Dariush fight. He blindly threw a body kick and got tagged for it. But let's be honest, RDA is not going to be, scouting those spots and his holes in his games out. He just isn't. He doesn't have that technical ability anymore. He's slowing down. He's getting slower in later rounds, right? Like the Rafael Fiziev fight, he can go 5 rounds. He can go 5 rounds when he is the hammer. When he's the nail, man, fuck out of here with that bullshit. He's getting dogged, all right? I love RDA. He's awesome. We all love RDA. He's cool. But let's not act like this isn't a lamb to the slaughter for Mateusz Gamrot just to get him a free, easy quick turnaround win. All right? I hate to see this fight because, Mateusz is going to murder him, dude. I'm sorry. He just is. This is a bad fight, man. RDA, he's not going to be able to handle him on the feet. He's going to get out-wrestled. I don't think that Mateusz is going to finish him. But I think that Rafael dos Anjos will be a bloody mess at the end of the fight. He'll be huffing and puffing. He'll lay on the ground after the fight. Mateusz Gamrot, 30-26. I'll give Mateusz a 10-8 round. Fuck it. We move to Caitlin Sermonara versus Macy Barber. Of course, Caitlin had the name change. Listen. This fight... Oh boy. This could be a rough one. This is another one where, I know this is going to go to decision, right? Because it's a Caitlin Sermonara fight, right? Where, she never finishes anybody, and she never gets finished. I think this fight is bad for both of them, if I'm being honest. Caitlin hasn't fought since the Manon Fiorot loss in 2022. She's been struggling, personally with stuff, which, of course, that sucks. No one wants to fucking... That sucks to hear, right? Macy Barber is hungry. She's younger, man. She's got better performances in her last couple fights. Here's the problem. All right? I have a feeling this is going to be a very clinch-heavy fight. And if it's a clinch-heavy fight, most of those fights go to Caitlin Sermonara by split decision. All right? But also, Macy Barber also does a good bit of grappling as well. She does. The problem is neither of these ladies have dominant grappling. Caitlin has a 15% accuracy on takedowns. Macy Barber has a 32%. Both of their takedown defenses kind of stink, but Macy's sucks worse. Alright? Make that make fucking sense. I don't know. She's also smaller. She has the reach disadvantage, even though Caitlin doesn't really use her reach. She's kind of just let's hug for a little bit. I think I'm going to go with Macy Barber by split decision, 29-28. I think she'll find her shots better than Caitlin will, mostly due to ring rust. Macy also does like to mix in kicks. Caitlin will throw a sly leg kick, a sly teep sometimes. She's mostly strictly 1s and 2s. She rarely lands them, though. She's very, point heavy, but she doesn't land a lot of point strikes. Macy also has the finish factor where she can finish this fight. When Caitlin's fighting, she's not going to get a finish. But Macy Barber also puts herself in positions to get finished. But I don't think that matters in this fight because Caitlin doesn't have the power or prowess striking-wise to capitalize on these. So I think when Macy Barber's rushing in, I don't think there's really a big threat. Hence why I think she'll land the bigger and better shots. Alright? Caitlin doesn't like to use her reach for some reason. I don't know. You're big. You're a big flyweight. You're 5'9", for Christ's sake. Use the jab, ma'am. Come on. I think this fight, a lot of people are like, shit break. This isn't a shit break. Alright, calm down. Don't call every women's MMA fight a shit break just because you fucking hate women's MMA. Alright? This could either be a really entertaining slugfest in the center, mostly Macy Barber winning it. Or, alright, I tell you, it could be a shit break where they just clinch for a lot. But I don't think that's going to be the case. Hopefully not. We move to the featured prelim of the night. Curtis Blades versus Jailton Almeida. How the fuck do two guys who just main evented their last fights on fight nights, one in a real crowded area, become the featured prelim of a pay-per-view? You have them on fucking UFC 299, apparently. Curtis Blades, Jailton Almeida. I'm going Jailton Almeida by first round strangulation. Listen, alright. When I heard about this matchup, I was very like, this is pretty even, right? That was until I saw the stat line that disgusted me. Curtis Blades, a very heavy wrestler-style based fighter, has a 33% takedown defense in the UFC. That's right. Curtis Blades, the wrestler, everyone says, in the heavyweight division of the UFC, has a 33% takedown defense. What the fuck is happening? Alright, listen, I'm gonna state this real quick. Jailton Almeida, I thought the size difference was gonna be pretty leaning towards Curtis Blades. No. Jailton's actually kind of bigger than Curtis Blades. Make it make sense. He's a fucking lab experiment of a person. Jailton, people are like, oh, this could result on the feet. I don't think so. Curtis Blades isn't known for having the best chin. Alright, let's be honest. All 4 of his losses come by TKO. Alright, I know they're heavy power punches. Pavlovich, Lewis, Ngannou twice. Speaking of which, Ngannou, I'm recording this after he got murdered by Anthony Joshua. I may or may not make a video on that. I don't know. I'm very sad. I mean, he fucking got floored. Anyways, let's go back to these two heavyweights. Jailton's going to take him down. I think he's going to take him down pretty easily, too. He may take, 2 attempts. People are like, cardio, gas tank this. He looked slower against Derek Lewis. That's because he took him down, 11 times. He's not going to need to take down Curtis Blades 11 times. Also, Derek Lewis is a meatball of a person. He's going to be hard to take down. He's going to be hard to get low on. Curtis Blades, who's taller, albeit a bit bigger, top-heavy, he's going to be able to get slammed so hard. Dude, it's going to be crazy. Jailton's going to get to his legs pretty quick. If Curtis Blades wants to win this fight, he has to keep it standing. He won't, because his fucking takedown defense sucks. Volkov took him down. Huh? Volkov, yeah, that guy that he also beat took him down? What? Jailton Almeida is going to take down Curtis Blades at a very drastic rate. It's going to be sad to see, because Curtis Blades is going to look like a fish out of water on the ground, which is something nobody expects to see, right? Curtis Blades' striking isn't well prepared enough. He does throw a lot of good 1s and 2s. Jailton's very wild on the feet, right? He's very wild. He can get clipped. It's happened before in the regional scene. Hell, it's happened in the UFC. But also, he kind of does hit very hard. That Derek Lewis fight, in the first 5 seconds of the fight, he lands a heavy right overhand on Derek Lewis, and Derek's like, whoa, right? I think this is a very skewed fight for Jailton Almeida, and I hate to see this guy that's probably going to get a title shot that's most likely on the juice. Yeah, but he's going to beat Curtis Blades pretty easily. First round strangulation. We move to personally one of my favorite fights of the year so far. Petr Yan versus Song Yadong. Holy shit, this is going to be so fucking fun. I'm picking Petr Yan. Listen, hear me out. Alright, I know a lot of people are picking Petr Yan. I also just agree with them. I think Song Yadong's performance against Chris Gutierrez is honestly one of the most shocking, disappointing, but super proven performances of all time. You know what I'm saying? It reminds me of Jailton Almeida's Derek Lewis performance, right? He dominated the whole fight, but he didn't finish him in the first round, so everyone was like, well, you kind of shit the bed there. But his performance against Chris Gutierrez was worse, somehow. I don't know. Chris Gutierrez was landing some shots on the feet, but his grappling just sucks. He was landing good shots on the feet. I think Song did drop him once. Piotr Jan's boxing is so sound. Like, his counters are very good. Song Yudong also does have good counters, but Piotr doesn't really leave himself to be countered, right? The only guy we've ever seen really, like, counter him was, like, John Dodson and Sean O'Malley, right? Song Yudong doesn't have the grappling presence to scare Piotr Jan, right? He doesn't have the back taking of Aljo. He doesn't have the grappling of Merab Dvalishvili, right? Where he doesn't have that cardio either, right? Song Yudong does slow down when you put him at a pace. Piotr Jan puts on a very impressive pace in rounds 2 and 3. Round 1, he takes off to take in information. He still lands big shots there, right? Like, a lot of people imagine Piotr Jan as this very slow starter. He throws some pretty heavy bombs in that first round, too, to the day. It's just that his volume increases and increases, which is where I think Song Yudong's going to struggle. Song Yudong hits hard, sure. His boxing, he sets up things very well, sure. You know who does both of those things just a little bit better? Piotr Jan does, alright? He just does. He mixes it up better than Song Yudong does. Those body shots, I'll tell you what, they're going to take a toll. Those leg kicks, they're going to take a fucking toll on you, alright? His boxing defense is more sound than a Ricky Simone, who leaves his chin out wide in the open. Piotr Jan doesn't do that, alright? He switches stances. Hell, even in grappling, I think Piotr Jan could just out-grapple Song Yudong in this fight. I really think he could. If Corey Sandhagen was able to feint takedowns into Song Yudong's mind so hard that he face plants on the canvas, Piotr's gonna have a fucking field day with this guy. Alright? And listen, this is another fight where, like, Song Yudong could just magically crack Piotr's chin and send him to the Shadow Realm. Sure, that can happen. I just don't see it. I don't see Song Yudong landing that one shot. I also don't see him dominating this whole fight. If he does, good riddance of Piotr Jan, I guess. I don't know. But people act like Piotr's washed when his last 3 losses are to the former champ, the current champ, in a very close fight, and then Merab Dvalishvili, who is going to be the champion. Nobody else in that division is like Merab Dvalishvili. Everyone's like, he got dominated by Merab. He did that. What do you think Merab would do to Song Yudong? He would thrash that little dude around for ages. Right? Song Yudong doesn't have the long presence of a Sean O'Malley. He doesn't. He's more close and based. Piotr Jan does stylistically better in fights like that. The guys that he struggled with, barring Merab Dvalishvili, who has the grappling presence, is a guy like Aljo, a guy like Sean O'Malley. In the first round, a guy like Corey Sandhagen, who are longer. And even in Corey Sandhagen, in that fight, he dominated his ass in the later rounds. I just think that people hype up Song Yudong so much. I get it. He has a win over Cheeto. He's a very entertaining guy. But man, he is getting shot up these rankings so fast for no reason, right? This guy lost to Kyler Phillips. I'm not saying Kyler Phillips is bad, but he's unranked. Come on. We move to Gilbert Burns versus Jack Della Maddalena. I'm picking Jack Della Maddalena by second round TKO. Listen, this fight is a send-away fight, if I'm being honest. Gilbert Burns, coming off an injury, right? It'll make him slower. Jack Della Maddalena, the only way Gilbert Burns wins this fight is by getting Jack to the ground. Gilbert Burns has a 36% takedown accuracy. The last guy that he was able to, successfully, he takes down guys like Jorge Masvidal and Neil Magny. But those guys, takedown, defense-wise, kind of just suck. People are like, Basil Hafez against Jack Dilla. Jack Dilla defended 17 takedowns in that fight on short notice. And Basil Hafez is clearly on roids. Alright? Let's keep it a buck here. Alright? Let's keep it a buck. I also just believe that Jack Dilla is just better on the feet. He'll jab. He's gonna jab Gilbert Burns' face off. He's gonna murder him, dude. It's gonna be sad. Alright. Jack's gonna land body shots on Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns. The only way Jack Della loses is if he shoots for a guillotine and gets submitted. Which, if he does, if he shoots for a guillotine or a buggy choke, I'm gonna find him. We move to Kevin Holland versus Michael Venom Page. I'm picking Kevin Holland. Listen, this fight is either gonna be a very entertaining kickboxing slugfest, or it's just gonna be a whole lot of nothing. Michael Venom Page, I think the problem with this fight is just he waited too long and he fought shitty competition, right? Like, let's be honest, the best thing that's came out of Bellator is, like, Michael Chandler and Patchy Mix, right? And Gegard Mousasi. I guess he's a good guy that's Bellator. Bellator is not producing guys that are high level, especially the guys that Michael Venom Page fought. All right, let's bring the reins in. All right, Michael Venom Page was fighting cans his whole career, right? Kevin Holland has fought very good competition. He's fought Wonderboy. He's fought a guy like Michael Venom Page. Stephen Wonderboy's better than Michael Venom Page. The best thing that Michael Venom Page has in this fight is leg kicks. Because Kevin Holland, no matter how much I love this fucking dude, refuses, and I mean fucking refuses to defend leg kicks. He like argues against checking them. I just dropped my mic. He's just like, I don't want to do it. I don't. You can't make me do it, dude. I think the straight shots of Kevin Holland are going to land on Michael Venom Page. He's older. He's getting slower. If Michael Venom Page came to the UFC 3, 4, 5 years ago, I'd be so hyped up. Dude, Michael Venom Page is a killer. He's also 36. He also sucks at grappling. His grappling is not good. He gets dominated. If Kevin Holland really wants to win this fight, it would be the most boring way to do it, which I know he won't. He will grapple Michael Venom Page and thrash him around. Kevin Holland has good takedowns. He does. When he commits to them, they're good. He can trip on the inside. He could have just beat Wonderboy if he just held him down. Right? He could have. Michael Venom Page, of course, has that quick twitch. He can land really cool stuff. Every highlight of Michael Venom Page is either on a guy with like a almost 500 record or from like 9-10 years ago. Whoop-de-fucking-do, dude. Whoop-de-do. You're beating these guys? Wow. Who is shocked about that, huh? I think that this fight is going to be stylistically either really, really exciting where they're exchanging head kicks and straights, ones and twos down the middle, or it's going to be a 5-strike-per-minute fight and no one's going to remember it come the end of the year. I think Michael Venom Page chose the wrong time to come to the UFC. I think he loses to a majority of the top 15 welterweights, right? Just stylistically, if they just grapple him, they win. Kevin Holland, of course, they chose him because he won't grapple Michael Venom Page. I still think he beats him, just on the feet. Kevin Holland hits very hard. Michael Venom Page hits very hard. Kevin Holland has that touch of death, though. He hits you at very weird angles. If he shows up, not how he did against Jack Della Maddalena, where he threw a bunch of nothing. He put no sauce on his strikes. If he's able to push the pace, break Michael Venom Page down with ones and twos down the pipe, just kind of force him into a small cage, Kevin Holland has this in the bag. I don't think he'll finish Michael Venom Page. He'll beat him by decision, 29-28. We move to Dustin Poirier versus Benoit Saint Denis, the people's main event. 5-round fight. I'm picking Benoit Saint Denis by second round submission, first or second. Listen, I'm geeked for this fight. Because this fight, and I almost changed my pick just based on the fact that Benoit Saint Denis has a staph infection on his fucking forehead. How dirty? How dirty do you have to be to get a staph infection on your fucking forehead? Disgusting, right? Here's my thing with this fight. Dustin Poirier very well can win. He very well can. Benoit has every style that Dustin Poirier loves. They walk forward with their hands sort of low. They walk forward, they're crouching, and he can tag him up. Here's the thing. Benoit has a godly chin on him. Everyone uses the Zaleski Dos Santos fight as like he's going to knock him out. Zaleski Dos Santos hits very hard, okay? It's also up a weight class against a guy who was obviously juicing at one point, who also knocked out Sean Strickland, who also fraud-checked Renat Fakhretdinov. Don't act like Zaleski Dos Santos is a fucking bum, alright, dude? Shut the fuck up. He knocked out Sean Strickland, alright? Pipe down a little bit. But anyways, I think Benoit has the style to beat a guy like Dustin Poirier. Walk him down, walk him to the cage. That's where he really struggles, but Dustin Poirier. If Michael Chandler was smart and kept his hands to his fucking face and shot double legs and threw him to the ground instead of fucking holding his hand out like a toddler reaching for his mama and getting clipped, right? He would have beat Dustin Poirier very easily. Dustin Poirier has a sorry-ass back foot against the fence. He just does, alright? He kind of sucks there. And a lot of people, but like, Dustin Poirier, he can, the ground, Benoit, if he gets him to the ground, he's fucked. Dustin Poirier will not shoot for takedowns in this fight. He has to keep this fight standing. If he gets just to the ground, Benoit's choking him out, alright? We saw how Charles Oliveira did him. Charles Oliveira is one of the best grappling enthusiasts in the game. Benoit Saint Denis has a very impressive ground game with very slick transitions and reversals. He will reverse the shit out of Dustin Poirier, who has a weak submission defense. All right, unless your name's Michael Chandler, and you suck at IQ at fighting. Anyways, that's besides the point. I also think Benoit goes to the body a lot. All right, he does. I think that he's gonna land shots on Dustin Poirier that he's never felt before. Alright? I'm not saying Benoit hits harder than a Justin Gaethje, a Charles Oliveira, a Conor McGregor. He doesn't, but he piles them up. He's not like a one-shot demon. He will pound you. Pause. Alright? Dustin Poirier, listen, I understand. He very well can fraud check Benoit Saint Denis. He can knock him out. He has the precision and accuracy to do so. The problem is he's getting older. He's coming off a very ruthless KO. Alright? His chin has been tested a lot, and he's fighting a guy who loves to test chins. Alright? I think Benoit averages like a 1.5 knockdowns per fight. Alright? That's what he does. Dude, he beats people up. He mauls them. Not in like a Khabib way, in a Benoit Saint Denis way. In a Benoit Saint Denis way, against a Dustin Poirier, works very well. And it's happened time and time again. He will do what Dan Hooker did in round 2, pin him against the fence. Instead of going for chaining headshots, he will mix it to the body, break him down to the ground. What Max Holloway did in round 4 where he pinned him against the fence. He will not throw a flying knee. He will not allow a clinch exchange. If he does, he will take him to the ground. Alright? I'm saying all this. I understand the threat in this fight for Benoit. I do. I'm very 50-50 about this fight, but I'm slightly 51% with Benoit Saint Denis, okay? So, believe me, I understand. This fight is very evens, okay? But I think that Benoit Saint Denis' style is just perfect for a guy like Dustin Poirier. If it's not, then I'll shut up. I'll never fucking speak on MMA ever again. Alright? No, that's a lie. I'll make it. I love doing this. But like, dude, I'll stop the new generation of lightweights talk. Okay? I will. I'll stop. Alright. We move to the main event of the evening. Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Marlon Cheeto Vera. I know you know who I'm picking by the thumbnail. I'm picking Marlon Cheeto Vera. Hear me out, alright? This fight is do or die for Sugar Sean O'Malley. If he wins this, he's a certified superstar, sure. His trash talk still sucks. Work on that, Sean. Holy shit. Here's the thing about this fight. Sean O'Malley has to be perfect for 25 minutes. Sean O'Malley is a very imperfect fighter. Let's just put that out there, alright? He's very imperfect. People are saying he's going to put away Cheeto. He is not going to do that. Marlon Cheeto Vera has one of the best chins the UFC has ever fucking seen, okay? He does. And people also, they talk about Cheeto like he's a fluke merchant. People bring up the Dominic Cruz. He fluked his way into... He timed that head kick so damn perfectly. You couldn't time it any better. Alright? Okay, the Frankie Edgar one was a bit... I'll give you guys that one. He just kind of tossed that one up there and he fucking kicked him in his lip. Alright? Pedro Munoz, I rewatched that fight. Clearly went to Cheeto Vera, by the way. Cheeto's quick. His 1s and 2s are quick as fuck. He's fast. Not as fast as Sean. Quick enough to battle him, though. Alright? Of course, their first fight, Sean, he was winning. Okay? Until the injury. He was. Alright? I'll give you that. He was. That was 4 years ago. Okay? And even then, when it got to the ground, Cheeto Vera has one of the most vicious ground and pound sets I've ever seen in my life. Alright? And no, I don't think Cheeto's going to take him down. But here's the thing. He will kick the shit out of his legs. And here's the thing. People are like, Sean's going to leg kick him to death. Cheeto doesn't show any damage whatsoever. You can kick his legs 500 times. He'll still be standing. Pedro Munoz is a perfect example of that. Pedro landed so many damn leg kicks on this dude, not even phased. He took him like a fucking champ. People are like, he'll wrestle Cheeto. Okay? Sure, he'll wrestle Cheeto. Alright, cool. Maybe he will. If he does, have fun losing your superstar status, because if you have to win against Cheeto Vera by grappling when you've talked all this, I'm gonna knock him out, you're a bitch, alright? That's what it's just what it is. I think Cheeto's gonna connect on him. He can throw all he wants. There's a significant power difference. I know Sean hits hard. There's a difference between chins. Cheeto has the chin of fucking steel. Sean gets hit a lot. He doesn't get hit a lot. He leaves his chin out there, though. Piotr was able to land on him a lot. Aljamain Sterling, even at times, in that first round, was able to land a couple 1s and 2s. I think this fight is going to be very fun. People that are saying it's going to be as boring as Rose Namajunas versus Carla Esparza too. Alright? Like, it's going to be so boring. No, it's not. It's just not. They're going to put on a fun fight. And here's the thing. I think Sean will win. But I just know for a fact that if Cheeto is able to put on a performance like he did against Pedro Munoz, because I'll tell you what, Sean looked pretty bad against Pedro Munoz. Cheeto did not. Alright, I'll give you that much. And a lot of people are like, oh, dude, Pedro Munoz won. No, he didn't. Alright, shut up. No, he didn't. He dealt with the power, he dealt with the style of Pedro Munoz way better than Sean did. Alright? And I know styles make fights, this and that. Sean doesn't really present a lot for Cheeto that he hasn't gone against. He fought a better Sean O'Malley and Corey Sandhagen. People are like, Sean O'Malley's better than Corey. No, he's not! The only thing that I think Corey is worse at than Sean O'Malley is maybe like precision and accuracy. Because I'll give you that. Sean is very accurate. Accuracy doesn't matter when you can't knock out your opponent. Alright, you can dink him up all you want. Sean O'Malley's gas tank is also very questionable. The only fight that he went 3 rounds with that he had very good cardio was against Chris Moutinho. But that's because Chris Moutinho didn't throw anything at Sean O'Malley. He was a walking punching bag. People are going to compare, they're like, he's going to do him worse than Chris Moutinho. No, he's not. He's not a punching bag. Cheeto throws back. All right? Piotr Jan, over 3 rounds, put this dude through a hellish pace. Is Cheeto going to do that? No. Can he do something slightly lower than that and still break Sean O'Malley? Yes. Okay? Yes. Sean O'Malley's going to look for pullback counters. Cheeto's not going to be there. All right? Both of these guys absorb a lot of strikes. Okay? That's just a fact. Cheeto has good kick defense. He does. He pats away at the kicks. He likes to check leg kicks. All right? Sean O'Malley should win this. He should. But I'm telling you this. If there's a God, Cheeto Vera will win this fucking fight. I'm telling you that much. I'm UFC Thoughts. These have been my picks and breakdown for every fight on UFC 299, O'Malley vs. Vera 2 on March 9th, 2024. My commented picks reside with Rebelis Despain, Mateusz Gamrot, and Jailton Almeida. My pre-card rating is a 10 out of 10. You do not get better than this, other than UFC 300, which I still believe is a better card. Let's be honest. The only reason people hate on it is because it is UFC 300. If that was if this was 299, if UFC 300's cards was 299, you'd be like, oh my god, that's the best card I've ever seen. But since it's UFC 300, everyone's like expecting like stupid fights. This card is going to be fucking awesome. Miami always brings fun fights. Let's have a fucking good time, alright, everybody? Fan bases colliding. Let's just be together as MMA fans. I'm getting sentimental. Get around the campfire, okay? I'm kidding. I'll see you guys after the fights. Peace.